Hi, as promised, the second part of the vid, I'll start off with the electronic speed controllers. They're 20 amp Aerostyles. Got two, wired them all up inside. The inside display looks like Frankenstein's laboratory. The amount of cable, thank God for heat shrink tubing. That's all I can say. Right, the business end, the motors. These are DJI 2010 motors running at 920 kV. The props I've got on them are the high lift props. These are 9 by 4.5 props. They're really sort of wide at this point. Give loads of lift. Had them on a DJI Phantom 1. Then we'll start making my own quads. Had them on a 330 and a 450 quad. And they lift bags and bags of weight. I'm starting off using these props, see how they fare. If they're okay, then I should give it another flight that with carbon fibre props. They're as stiff as a board. These ones, typical sort of props, you get flex in them, but the carbon fibre ones, absolutely rigid. Really are. Totally rigid. So, same on both sides. As I say, everything is mounted surface-wise. Because this is just a prototype. I want to make sure that it all flies tickety-boo before I mount everything inside. The motor mounts are made of 1.5 aluminium, anodized. I've just got a couple of bolts running right the way through with washers, both sides, etc. Just hold it absolutely rock solid. And if I can lift the bugger up and give you a full length view on it, the motors are absolutely bang on. The other thing as well, and I'll show you this now. I don't know if I can get it on this. I'll put it on the floor. You can see better. But with that undercarriage at the front, because it's right at the nose end, you can see how much of a tilt it's given that wing to start off with without actually taking off the ground. Now, Martin was asking me about the CG. Oops, that weren't me, that was the wheels. That was addressed by "I have a cunning plan," as the guy said. I've left the old motor on, the old Hobby Zone motor, and that's well behind the CG point. And that in itself has offset the motors and the landing gear. Now, the landing gear I'd actually made myself there again with anodized 1.5 millimeter aluminium, bolted right the way through. Obviously, bolts on the end, and I make sure that bolt nut doesn't come off. Instead of using the foam tack like old Martin does, I've actually got the old fuel pipe on the end. Really nice and tight, and it actually, when I put it on there, it's actually created a thread inside the fuel pipe, so that's never ever going to come off. My next vid on this trio of vids is a thrust test, where I'll be putting a 200 lipo in there, and I'll be using the powering the motors right up, going into a set of digital scales, so you can see how much pressure is actually being forced onto the scales, so that will give you the amount of thrust that's coming out of these twin motors. And they do have some exceedingly good power. when I had them on my quad frames, the 350 and the 450, 4 of these would easily lift, coming up to near enough a kilogram in weight. Massive power in these, especially with these props and the carbon fibre ones. So if a 220 can run 4 of these motors, it will have absolutely no problem at all running 2. And you know what? It's not going to need a lot of throttle to get this baby off the ground. So, thrust test will be the next video.